right around the corner. It's Christmas, so let's bring back my cohort in crime, Miss Jane. Hi.
Yes, and we're still got the bling on.
We got the bling. Yeah, we got the bling. So you know what, Jane? I'm going to talk about this very, very quickly, because this is what I was working on today before Jane sent me the link and said, are you ready? And I said, yeah, I'm ready. And then my internet went down. So Jane said, well, wait for it to come back up and I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. That worked. But what I was working on today is this is a book that I wrote. It came out in 2019. I think it was 2019. It's called The Ornament Keeper. I can only assume that it's showing the right way here. It may be upside down or backwards or something. But anyway, so The Ornament Keeper. It's a novella. And I have been asked, don't want to talk about it a whole lot, but I have been asked to write what is called a movie treatment or script treatment for a screenplay on this particular book. It's definitely one of my absolute favorite stories. So today, right before you sent me the link, I was working on the treatment and getting ready to send that in. So if you love a good Christmas novella, this is one of my favorite stories, because it talks about the redemption of a relationship and that seemed all but lost. And if there's anyone in your life that you feel like, or somebody that that you feel like, this relationship is doomed and we're never going to be able to work out our differences, I hope this book will give you a little hope for the Christmas season.
So can I, because I don't know about this now, I know you and I talk back and forth about projects like this, and we don't want to talk too much about it.
Don't want to talk too much.
We don't want to talk too much. But I am just the fact that you're sharing that a little bit, it sounds a little Hallmark-ish. Would that be?
It's not Hallmark. No.
Okay. All right. Then I will say no.
Hallmark. No, yeah. All right.
It does sound it.
Because there's no bookstore. There's no. I guess there is a little coffee shop. They do run in somewhere and have something to eat one day. But there's no cup of hot cocoa, and I'm just teasing. They always say somebody has to return home. Somebody's spouse had to have died. There's like this little, it's like a formula for the Hallmark movies. But no, it's not Hallmark. So
okay, then we won't go there.
We won't go there. Yes. Now you've got a parody.
We know how this goes.
You said you've got a parody. I got to hear this.
Oh, well, it all started with, I went to this cute little shop, and I love napkins. I just love napkins. I
love those things.
I do too. So this one says, it feels amazing to walk into a store and buy whatever I want without looking at the price tag. Thank you, Dollar Tree. So then the back of it says, lead me not into temptation. Oh, who am I kidding? Follow me. I know a shortcut.
That's right.
So with that inspiration of Dollar Tree, I've got a couple of programs. I'm speaking in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, week after next, and then I fly to Pittsburgh. I can't believe I'm going to up north to do something. Up north, but they're wonderful folks, and I appreciate it so much.
I love Pittsburgh. Yeah.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere we go. Take a look at the 5 and 10, glistening once again with candy canes and silver lanes aglow. And I'm stopping right there. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look at the Dollar Tree, a Walmart wannabe. Boxes stacked up in the aisles galore. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas on August 23. Inflatables for your lawn, lights that flicker off and on. It's just like Amazon. You'll find cleaning supplies and a bra that's your size, and of course a box of Depends. There's only one clerk and it drives us berserk. The stress, it never ends, and Mom and Dad can hardly wait for family to vacate. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, our Southern Jubilee. But the prettiest sight to see, well, gosh, there's another Dollar Tree. Number 33. Oh, wait a minute. I think that's a Dollar General. No. That's Family Dollar. Welcome to Christmas in the South.
Isn't that, thank you. Isn't that funny? I was going through it. I mean, in fact, yesterday I was thinking, I got to write something with prolong. And I saw a woman in Publix, and I could tell she had on a thong. I said, oh, no, don't go there. In a thong. No, my daughter said, no, do not say that. But Eva Marie, I'm going to put up the URL for people to go on your newsletter, because you not only have entertaining info, you always have a recipe. And I made the last recipe. I made it, and it was delicious. So I know you love to cook. So what?
You're so funny. I actually hate to cook. I love to cook during the holidays, though, and I love to bake. Yes, I love to bake.
All right, tell me something that's special to you in that arena, in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, well, my mother's Southern pound cake. I mean, it's like that's almost like second nature to me. And it's called a pound cake because you add a pound of sugar and a pound of eggs and a pound of flour and a pound of this and a pound of that. But
and then you gain
pounds. Mothers, yeah, and then you gain lots and lots of pounds every time you take a bite. But the one that I posted in this last newsletter that came out in November, because this is a favorite at our house, and it's a very Southern dish. Of course, in the South we make casseroles. We are big on casseroles. but I found this recipe many years ago in some of my mother's things, and because she's been, I can't believe it, she's been gone for 14 years. But it was a recipe that she pulled out of the newspaper. The newspaper itself is very old and yellowed, and it has the Piggly Wiggly emblem on it. So again, that told me just how old it was, because the Piggly Wiggly was the grocery store that that we had until the Piggly Wiggly was no more. I don't know. Is there a Piggly Wiggly?
Oh yeah, they're still around.
They're still around. Where they're not in my little hometown. But it's called baked squash grits, and this is
squash grits,
like Ritz crackers.
I thought it was grits.
Squash Ritz crackers. Okay, so this is what it calls for: 2 pounds of squash. Now that's yellow crookneck squash. Anybody from the South knows there's all different kinds of squash. This is yellow crookneck squash. And of course, if you can't buy it fresh, you can always buy it in the can. Just you want to drain it really good. 1 onion, 2 beaten eggs, 1 cup of evaporated milk, 1 cup of grated cheese. Now today you can buy it pre-grated, but remember I still like to do it like that. I don't know. There's just something about
good cook too.
2 tablespoons of butter. Lord have mercy. Don't you dare get any margarine, and don't you dare get any of this. I can't believe it's not butter. It's not butter. Get butter.
That's right.
When I was in nursing and I taught nutrition, It's so funny, me, who doesn't really like to be in the kitchen. But one of the things that I used to stress to people is butter and margarine are the same calories per pat. So if you got a pat of margarine, it's 100 calories. You've got a pat of butter, it's 100 calories. So just go with the butter, so much better. So 2 tablespoons of butter, salt and pepper, and then 2 cups of crushed Ritz crackers, not Ritz crackers, but Ritz crackers. Okay, so you cook the onion and the squash, and then you drain it. So again, if you are going to use just, like in a can squash, drain it already, add some onion to it, and then, cook it again. But, not too long. You don't want to cook it to death, but drain it really, really good. Well, let me go back, because I might have said that wrong. If you've got the squash in a can and you're going to, you've got to figure out like about what's 2 pounds, then you're going to put that in the pot with the chopped up onions, and then you're going to cook it like that, or you might even want to put it in like a cast iron skillet and just like maybe stir fry it or something like that. Then you're going to drain it. Okay. Add remaining ingredients. So now you're going to add the eggs and the evaporated milk and the cheese and the butter and the salt and pepper. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Place in a greased casserole dish. Can we say casserole dish, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, I in fact, I said today, some of my Corningware, I said I was washing some of the Corningware, and I said, I think I've had this since 1976. That's when I got married. I think I've had this. I'm telling you, you can't kill them.
We're older than my children.
Exactly. Place in a greased casserole dish and top with buttered breadcrumbs. Bake at 45 minutes to 1 hour in a 350-degree oven. And I've got to tell you, this stuff is just so good. It is so good.
Quick question.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a daughter who's gluten intolerant. It all works except the Ritz. You could leave off the Ritz crackers.
Or you can find some crackers that are, gluten free. Because you could definitely do that. Yeah.
I love that. God, listen, I'm so hungry. So
I know. Or what you might even be able to do is to get some gluten-free bread and toast it and then crumble that on top.
Right.
Yeah.
I might make that for Thanksgiving, although I figured that out because
my family's getting it for Thanksgiving and Christmas, maybe.
Well, before
we do something a little different for Christmas. So no.
Well, I love sweet potato souffle. I'll have to share that one time. I love my sweet potato, and it's so good for you. But talk about Southern. I'm gonna make you laugh on this. Did you know that my wedding was catered by Piggly Wiggly?
Oh, I love it. That is so Southern.
Marion Grabham way down on King Street, or was it Meeting Street? There was and he was the go-to caterer. And I'm telling you, I can tell everybody that my wedding at the reception at the Hibernian, which is very nice in Charleston, was catered by Piggly Wiggly. Boom!
By the big pig.
By the pig. Well, this has been fun. We've had fun talking about Mama's pocketbooks and tradition and music and the spooky.
Can you think of a tradition that, like something from your past, growing up in your childhood? What was like a favorite Thanksgiving or Christmas tradition that you had? And then we'll end with that.
In my life, and I'm like I said, I'm speaking in Tennessee, and then I'm going on to Pittsburgh to do some programs. But I start with the program with 100 Christmases, because my granddaddy built an old farmhouse at the end of the 1800s for his 6 children and his wife. Yes. And that farmhouse is still standing. I'll have to show everybody the picture of it. But we met at that farmhouse during my lifetime, but during the total amount of time was over 100 years.
Wow.
Same house. And my aunt and my grandmother had a Moravian star, and everybody got a beautiful gift. And then we'd sit on the porch, as Southerners would do, after we were feasting. And this was a Christmas Eve. Yes. And we would tell stories. Yes. I love good Southern stories. So that's mine. How about yours?
Yes. Well, like a tradition that we had growing up for Christmas was we got to open one gift on Christmas Eve, and then the next day Santa came, and I had the same kind of a situation, only not so much for Christmas, but the house that my great grandfather built in 1890 for my great grandmother and then eventually their children. It still stands today, actually. It's a little dilapidated, but it still stands. My mother ended up having that house, after my great aunt died. She willed it to my mother, and then my mother sold it to a woman who was supposed to come in and restore it and bring it back to its former glory, and she didn't do it. So it's really kind of sad. But that part of the story sparked my imagination to write the book Things Left Unspoken, which came out a few years back. But for Thanksgiving, I want to pull in Thanksgiving. My father's older brother was killed on his way home from where he lived in Savannah to Glenville, Georgia. He was killed by a drunk driver, and it was right at Thanksgiving. So every year, and I'm only assuming this, I could be wrong, but every year at Thanksgiving, my father's family gathered at my grandmother's, And we really turned that very mournful time into a celebratory time. So we always knew we were going to be at my grandfather and grandmother's house, my paternal grandparents' home. On Thanksgiving, we knew all the aunts and uncles and all the cousins would be there. We started the day, we kids, by watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Yay. And then after this wonderful lunch where, you know, we were all sitting all over the house. I think the children ate in the kitchen and the big people ate in the dining room. We kids went outside and we played tag football. And then we would go home, and it was such a joyous time, such a wonderful time. And every Thanksgiving, I miss that. I miss my grandparents. I miss my aunts, my uncles, my cousins. We have like a group text now, but it's just not the same as those wonderful days when the house was just filled with so many wonderful smells and so much laughter and so much joy. Yeah. What a wonderful thing to do, to take a mournful time and turn it into a joyful time.
And it's so ironic. I'll also just share this little thing. A year ago, my aunt that inherited the house that my granddaddy built, she passed away just days before Christmas Eve. And she made Christmas Eve such an epic event. One of my cousins had a plaque painted "Forever Christmas." And I was very honored that the family asked me to speak and sing at her service. And I got to tell the story of how special she made that Christmas time. And we buried her just a few days before Christmas. Everybody love each other and enjoy your beautiful celebrations. And remember that the Lord, it's his special birthday. And let's keep that perspective.
And don't let stupid things like politics and other don't let that separate you, because you know what? It could be your family who mourns the death of a loved one during the holidays. Right. Yes. And we know plenty. Yeah, you don't. You don't. Don't let the little things tear your family apart.
Right. Little foxes.
Feel like it's a big thing. It's a little thing. It truly is a little thing.
What's the Bible tell us? Little foxes spoil the vine.
Yes.
So true. Okay, darling.
All right. Bye, everybody.